and I am proud to be here today as the former mayor of the city of Milwaukee. And it's great, Governor Thompson, to follow you. You've still got it, Tommy. You still got it. No question about that. To John, thank you. To Bruce, to Julie, to everyone here. This is a wonderful, wonderful dedication for a wonderful man. And far be it for me to disagree with Mike's daughter talking about outside the box. There was no box with Mike Cudahy. He was miles away from a box. And my beautiful wife, Christine, who is here today, does the best job of anybody in this world in keeping me humble. And I appreciate that. And I love her. Mike Cudahy is a pretty close second. And I don't even love him in keeping me humble throughout my career as mayor, because he challenged every mayor, every governor, everybody he met to think like a crazy man. And he did it so incredibly effectively. So I want to go back to my trip with him, and the thing that jumped out at me, because we went also on a trip to Ireland, just like you did, in his plane with then Governor Doyle and Tim Sheehy from the MMAC, and we met at Signature Airport at 6:30 a.m. in the morning. And so the Governor Doyle arrives, and Tim Sheehy arrives, and I arrive, and we're all sitting on the plane, we're sitting on the plane, and there's no Mike Cudahy. And it's like, well, this is his plane, what are we gonna do? At 6:29, a Mustang roared, and I mean roared, up to 10 feet from the plane. And who jumps out? Mike Cudahy, and gets on the plane. And some poor guy had to move the car. But I thought, this guy knows how to travel. You just pull up in the plane. And so we made the same trip, visited the same residence, and by then they knew that he was alive, obviously. But he went out of his way to show us around and to show us the skylight and all that stuff. And I have to admit, I just came back from 3 years as the ambassador of Luxembourg. It was in that trip, in that residence, where I thought, I don't know what an ambassador does, but these are pretty nice digs. I gotta find out how to get one of these jobs. So he had a direct influence on my life and my career by introducing me, and my wife is clapping for that, doing that. But he also, again, with this site, when I had come into office, he had legendary battles with my predecessor, John Norquist, about the location, and they were knockdown brawls between the two of them as to what should happen. And I see some heads going up and down, and I got here and I'm thinking, I want this thing to be built, and frankly, I don't want to go to war with Mike Cudahy. So let's just make sure this happens. And of course, it did happen in the most wonderful way. But it didn't end there with this site. Because, as was mentioned, across the street was Pieces of Eight. Pieces of Eight was a restaurant that people who had never been to Milwaukee before came, and they visited it, and they never came back again. It was a place where junior proms were held, because by the time kids were in their senior year, they didn't want to go back there either. And it was just this day. I hope the former owner isn't here. It was just this day. Okay, and Mike came in, and with the Bartolotta family, they have transformed it into this incredible world-class restaurant. So thank you very much to the Bartolotta family for that. So again, that's part of it. The Pabst Theater, again, he came in right across from City Hall, dire straits. He came in and he saved it. The streetcar, not the most popular thing in the world. And I have to tell you, I knew I was fighting strong currents with the streetcar. I knew that. But I would be lying if I didn't say having Mike Cudahy had my back on that. Not only had my back, pushing us. Rocky Marcoux is here. He pushed us. He said, don't back down, don't back down, don't back down. And having this 90-year-old guy pushing you around to try to get it done meant a lot, because I knew he was a visionary, and I knew he cared about the community. He cared about the future. And you did have to ask yourself, why does this guy care so much? Why does he care so much? But I think it was just in his DNA. It was just in his DNA to care about people, to care about ideas, to care about change, and to challenge ourselves as human beings as to what we can do to make it a better community for the future. And so I was heartbroken when Chris and I were out of the country and he passed, and we weren't able to be here to pay our respects. But when John called and said that you were going to have this event, I thought, oh my God, I am blessed that I can come, so I can personally say to Lisa, to the entire Cudahy family, to the incredible team here at Discovery World, thank you. Thank you on behalf of the people of Milwaukee. Thank you on behalf of the people of Wisconsin, because we all, every person here was blessed to have Michael Cudahy as part of their life. And we can all say this, and I'm sure every one of us agrees with this, there will never be another Michael Cudahy. But we're thankful that we were able to have them. So he has this dream, and how does he keep the dream alive? And that's, of course, is the million-dollar question. And Joel did a great job for many, many years until he went on to, I wouldn't say greener pastures, I would say different pastures, but he committed himself. But a little-known fact is that 1 week before Joel Brennan started here, there was another young guy who came here, John Emmerich. Started 1 week before Joel, and for all the years Joel was here, John was cleaning up after him. Trying to make sure this place kept running, and when Joel left, he was the interim, but since last year, he has grabbed the reins and is steering the ship in an unbelievable way. So please join me in a thanks and a welcome to John Emmerich. John?
Mr. Barrett clearly got the notes I sent him last night. I sincerely appreciate all the kind words. Before we get to the rest of the fun and back to the bar, I want to take a couple of moments of thanks. We had an incredible speaker lineup today. Mr. Barrett, Mr. Thompson, Julie, very old friend, and Mr. Bruce Keys. Thank you. Another round of applause for all of our speakers. Last but not least, by note of thanks, the staff here at Discovery World has done an incredible job pulling a lot of the things that you're going to see here today together. From the front of the building to the beautiful wall you see next to me, to the kiosks and Mike's footprints and legacy that we'll explore here right after this. But I do want to call out a couple of individuals. Carl, I'll embarrass you. I was telling Mayor Barrett the story that Carl actually hired me back in 2007. Carl has been with the organization for a very long time, and I said that Mike's vision would not be executed if it wasn't with the assistance of a few key individuals, many of which are here tonight, and one of those very important ones is Carl Chattel. I do want to echo one other comment that Julie made in the encouragement to continue to explore the legacy of Michael J. Cudahy. And one way that all of you can do that is make a commitment and a promise to continue to push Discovery World to be bigger, to be greater, to be bolder, as Mike did every day that he was here, walking the halls, tinkering with the exhibits, working with the kids and the staff. He really left an indelible impression on everybody throughout the community, and I thank him for it. Mike's aspiration for greatness is a commitment that Discovery World needs to pick up the mantle for. Putting his name across the front of the building, embedding his name in everything that we do here within the organization is Discovery World's commitment to continue to aspire for greatness like Mike did. I will hearken back often to my moment of my setting the tone moment that Mike gave me. And every day I can only hope that the kids and families that walk through here on a regular basis can get that same set the tone moment and live through Mike's legacy. Thank you all for coming today again. I'm going to ask everybody to stick around if you have the time to do so. We're going to take a step outside. We'll take a live in-person look at the brand new addition to the front of the building. We've got a couple of parting gifts. You heard Bruce talk about JoyWorks. We've got copies of Mike's book for whoever is interested. Please help yourself. We do also have a lovely keychain, very in the spirit of Mike's Irish history. And we encourage all of you to take tours with the staff. A number of the staff here will be giving some guided tours through and showing you some of those new experiences. So thank you again. Join me outside.